Yo, in today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, they were a pretty bad team going into the 2021 season. They really started to turn things around, though, and then obviously they made playoffs the last year. So things are looking good for the Lions, but we're going to go ahead and rebuild them. I'm going to try to rebuild as many teams as possible as I can on Madden. So, starting off the Madden 25 rebuilds, I already did the Miami Dolphins. If you're interested in watching the Miami Dolphins rebuild without Tua, make sure to click the link in the description. But as you see right here, it's a very good team, especially offense. They have a really good offensive line. Maybe their defense is a little weak. Maybe their linebacker position could be a little bit better, but it's still pretty good. I didn't do any moves the first year because I thought we would make playoffs, but we apparently didn't. I mean, I didn't make any moves because this was a really good team, but we missed playoffs in the first year, so we're not off to a great start, but it's whatever. I know Madden, they don't really respect Jared Goff, at all. His overall should be a lot better. But anyway, Jared Goff, first year, 3,853 yards, 33 passing touchdowns, 17 interceptions. That is too many interceptions for Jared Goff. Jahmyr Gibbs, 864 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. David Montgomery also with 8 rushing touchdowns as well. Amon, 1,258 receiving yards with 11 receiving touchdowns. Jameson Williams with 11 receiving touchdowns as well. Sam Laporta, honestly, Sam Laporta is probably going to have a better year than that. 748 yards with 4 receiving touchdowns. Let's go check the defense. Leader in tackles was Jake Campbell. Then we got Arnold. Then we got Kirby Joseph. And tackles for loss, it's going to be DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Alex Anzalone, Aidan Hutchinson, and Malcolm Rodriguez. Then the team leader in sacks was Marcus Davenport. So that's a little shocking. Marcus Davenport was the team leader in sacks over Aidan Hutchinson. These are the key people we're going to be losing the first year. Marcus Davenport is really the only one worth mentioning. And anyone else is really not that big of a name. And this is who we're going to be signing in the first year. Cornerback Michael Carter and wide receiver Zay Jones. Just getting a little bit of depth. Not really any big position needs. But it's mainly just for depth purposes. So I feel like it should help out a lot, especially the cornerback. We could be a little stronger at cornerback, but it's whatever. Strong safety. So obviously I do this year's draft class that coming up, the one with, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, all of them. But then after that, I normally do an auto-generated because no one really knows the people all that well that are going to be drafted 2 years down the future. But anyway, first round, and got a strong safety, Kevin Winston Jr., then we got Ashton Bayless. Then we got Love at receiver. Then we got Gonzalez, left outside linebacker. Then we got Justin Stewart. And then we got Mass at receiver as well. So first trade of the rebuild. Obviously, I'm going to have to try to do something since we missed the playoffs in the first year. We're giving up Pascal, a first-round pick, a third, and a fourth for Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is a guy that I like a lot. He's pretty underrated. If he wasn't on the Titans, I feel like he'd probably be talking about it a lot more. He's a pretty good player, and he's pretty consistent, and we do need the help on offense. And I'm going to trade Jared Goff because, I love Jared Goff. I think he's a stud. Madden doesn't respect him, though. Madden, does not respect him. We started this rebuild. He was an 81. He jumped up to an 83. He's a little older. He's not really that old, I guess, but in the eyes of Madden, once you hit 30 in Madden's eyes, you can't go up in overall anymore for some reason. It's dumb. Anyway, giving up Jared Goff, a second-round pick, 2 first and a fourth for CJ Stroud and Titus Howard. And we didn't make the playoffs again, so I don't really know how, considering we have an 86 overall team, 91 overall offense, and an 86 overall defense. Really don't know how that equals 6-11. Anyway, CJ Stroud, 3,944 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. Pretty solid year for CJ Stroud. Jahmyr Gibbs, 735 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, the same amount he got last year. David Montgomery, 378 yards with 5 rushing touchdowns. Amon Ross St. Brown, 1,683 yards with 15 receiving touchdowns. Pretty good year for Amon Ra. Jameson Williams with 5 receiving touchdowns off 664 yards. Sam Laporta, only 3 receiving touchdowns, but he did get over 500 receiving yards. Leader in tackles again is Jake Campbell with 123 tackles for loss. It's Aidan Hutchinson with 17. Pretty good year for Aidan Hutchinson as he has 14 sacks as well. And then the leader in interceptions was Carlton Davis. And then Michael Carter in second place for our team. These are the people we're going to be losing. Kirby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, David Montgomery. I really don't want to lose Alex Anzalone, Rodriguez, and David Montgomery. I feel like there's some key pieces, but as you can see right there, we only have $10 million in cap space, and obviously we can't keep them all, and we do need a little bit of cap. Anyway, next year we do finally make playoffs at a 9-8 record. I'm still not understanding the simulation. Like, we have an 80, I think it was 86 or 87 overall team. Don't know how we're not doing a lot better than that, but anyway, we made playoffs, so I can't complain. CJ Stroud, 32 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 1,000 yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. Amon St. Brown, 966 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. Jameson Williams, 957 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Sam Laporta, 683 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Joseph Love, 571 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. And Philip Moss with 5 receiving touchdowns. A lot of people got touched. A lot of people got a good amount of receiving touchdowns. Again, the leader in tackles for us was Jake Campbell. Jeffrey Simmons is a leader in tackles for loss. That's good. You know, it's starting to make the trade look a little bit better. Aidan Hutchinson, 15.5 sacks. Jeffrey Simmons had 8 sacks. Interceptions, Jake Campbell, Arnold, Brian Branch, Kevin Winston Jr., the first-round pick we took not too long ago. So, pretty good year for all of us, except that we lose to the New York Giants of all teams. So, we are first-round exits by the New York Giants, and it looks like we got embarrassed because the score was 6-31, and the Carolina Panthers are somehow the first seed. So, apparently Bryce Young figured it out, or maybe Andy Dalton is just going crazy. You know, he just beat the Raiders not too long ago. Anyway, we're going to be losing Sam Laporta. I'm sorry, I know he's a 91 overall. He is not getting the stats. He's just not. And we're losing Brian Branch as well. Those are 2 big losses. Again, we don't have much cap space. And Sam Laporta, in real life, just like Jared Goff, I think Sam Laporta's a stud. But, like, the thing is, Madden does respect Sam Laporta. They gave a 91 overall. He's earned it. But in the simulation, it's just not acting like he's a 91 overall. 91 overall will get a lot more than 500 receiving yards. Anyway, the only signing we did was right outside linebacker Pete Warner. He's a 77 overall, 29. He's a pretty solid linebacker. I feel like he's kind of underrated, so we went ahead and got him. All right, and this is our draft class right here. We got a tight end in the second round. You know, obviously we lost our first-round pick because we gave up to get CJ Stroud. Got a tight end, Clements, and then we got Griffin, and then we got Starks, Bryant, who are wide receivers, running back, left outside linebacker, and then we got a center as well. And, you know, we do need a backup quarterback, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign Geno Smith. You know, he's on his last year. Probably, I mean, he's 36 in this simulation so far, so probably be his last year. And we also need a little bit more depth, so I'm going to sign Sam Hubbard to a 1-year deal. So Geno Smith and Sam Hubbard, and hopefully that will help us out. And we face the New York Giants again, 10-7, and they are 10-7 as well. We are still an 86 overall, so we should be able, hopefully we can win. CJ Stroud, an amazing year. Okay, this is definitely what we traded for CJ Stroud for. 4,165 yards, 33 passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. If you're able to have 33 passing touchdowns and only 8 interceptions, it's an amazing ratio, over 4,000 passing yards. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he was over a 1,000-yard rusher, 19 rushing touchdowns for Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my goodness. Mon-Ra, he must have got hurt. Yeah, Mon-Ra got hurt this year, I guess. Jameson Williams, 1,190 yards, 9 receiving touchdowns. JP Clements, the fill-in for Sam Laporta, 664 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Mon-Ra St. Brown, even though he missed time, still had 367 yards with 6 receiving touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, he was actually pretty efficient in the receiving game as well with two receiving touchdowns. Leader in tackles again is Jake Campbell. Jake Campbell is just a tackling machine. And the leaders for tackles for loss, Makai Winco, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then sacks, Aidan Hutchinson with 17. Aidan Hutchinson's doing great, but I wonder, with Jeffrey Simmons, you need to get more than 2.5 sacks. Yeah, 17 sacks is amazing for Aidan Hutchinson, but the rest of the team should be embarrassed. Not even another person on your team, not even recorded 5 or more sacks. That is bad. Anyway, interceptions, Pete Warner, Carlton Davis both got 2. And then we got a few other people with 1. Anyway, we're first round exit to the New York Giants again in the 2027 NFL playoffs, where we are eliminated to the New York Giants for the second year in a row. It's starting to get annoying because the New York Giants suck. They should not be beating us. I mean, actually, I guess they're kind of rebuilded because we both 86 overall, but I just don't understand how we are not. I don't even understand how we missed the playoffs the first 2 years. Jeffrey Simmons, he's regressed to an 85 overall. Probably not going to resign him. With that limited cap space, we really can't do much, even if we did kind of want him and he wasn't regressing. Carlton Davis, he's regressed to a 79. He was an 82 at one point. Michael Carter, I'll keep Michael Carter just because he's a little bit of a cheaper option, and we do need the depth at corner. I forgot to get a clip of who I signed, but this is who I got right here. Free safety Julian Love, 84 overall, and hopefully it will make our defense a little bit better. I don't even know how else to improve our offense because the offensive line's still good. We have CJ Stroud. We have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's doing really good. Anyway, this is our draft class. Defensive tackle Lance Dulup in the second round. Then we got Brooks. That's an amazing auto-generated name. But yeah, anyway, Brooks as a backup, since Geno Smith definitely retired. And then we got a right guard. And then we got a left end and a cornerback. And we finished 5-2. I don't even understand. We did regress back 1 overall, 85 overall as a team. But that's still good. That's better than the majority of people. I don't even understand it. Anyway, the Carolina Panthers, they won the Super Bowl, and Bryce Young was the Super Bowl MVP. So I guess he really figured it out. And then who else won during this rebuild? I'm going to go and call it quits. Like, the odds are just not in our favor. Anyway, the Rams won again, and then the Giants. So the team we lost to ended up winning the Super Bowl. And, Super Bowl rematch, the 49ers versus the Chiefs. This time the 49ers are able to get a Super Bowl win. And then the New Orleans Saints over the Miami Dolphins, 27-20. So that is a pretty interesting Super Bowl prediction for this year. The Dolphins versus the Saints. Hey, the Saints, they're looking good the first 3 weeks. They technically did lose against the Eagles, but they held a pretty good offense to only 15 points. Anyway, that's around the end of the video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Obviously, I wish we were able to be better, but I don't really think the odds were in our favor. They don't respect Jared Goff enough, and the simulation really wasn't in our favor. But enough excuses. I promise within one of the next few rebuilds we do, we will win a championship. See you guys in the next video. Bye.